Check, check. Okay. Alright, so the red island that doesn't have a skull on it is the island that you are currently on. I'm not on my home island right now. I'm pretty far away. But I'm able to stay away for about 4 or 5 days before I have to go back and rewater the farming crop that I have. So, alright, let's go.
Disgusting.
So you only get 3 pieces of rawhide out of the big hogs, and then you get 2 large meats. I don't really need that right now. All I'm doing at this point in time is kind of going around to other islands and collecting resources to take back to my main island. Biggest name of the game in this, obviously, is water. So I'll collect these palm bunches, store them on the boat, take them back to the main island. If any of you are new to watching the channel, that's awesome. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Kind of doing a video today where if you get on and you comment, you say something you'd like to see done or you'd like to see an example of. I'm pretty advanced in the game, so we can detail all those things. So this island, actually, when I came to it, there was one of the giant crabs on the island, and there was a group of warthogs. I think the 2 little ones are still here, because they're hard to catch and they're just not worth it, but I already killed all the other things. I like to take care of all the threats on an island as soon as I get to an island, so that way you can freely roam around, because if not, you gotta worry about snakes, and you gotta worry about those warthogs, those crabs, I mean, all those things are coming after you, so I'm gonna leave some of these palms here for just in case I need to come back at a later date. There's one little, there's both the little warthogs actually right now. 1, 2. Yeah, they're not necessary to get because I'm pretty set up with the way that I have everything on my boat right now. Of here to make sure that I've been there before, and I can always tell if I've been to an island before because there'll always be some kind of a small setup just like this where I have a water still, I, have some form of, things from around the island just kind of sitting around. I'll already have a fire set up. That's a way that I can instantly tell if I've been to an island or not. So before you leave an island, just make sure that you take everything that you want to take with you. Always have a sleeping bag. I can save it right before I leave an island. Pick that bad boy up. And we're going to be going to the northwest. So we want to be heading right in that direction when we leave this island. Kind of just click and drag the front of it just to kind of get it aimed where you want. That's the easiest way that I've found to do it. Over and get up here. Make sure that you have a wide enough base on your raft where you're not going to easily fall off, because that's going to be the number one way that you completely screw yourself in the game. Alright, let's see what we can see here. Are we heading northwest? Pretty much. So we should be able to see an island out there somewhere, which is where we're going to want to go. Right there. That's where we're headed right now. So that's the end point in the game right there. To totally beat the game. I've actually never done it just because I enjoy playing the game so much, and it seems like it's just pretty self-explanatory. You have to fix a plane that's on that to get out of here, so maybe we'll mess around with that at a later date. I hear a shark. Let's see how big he is. Let's see here. Where is he? I have the shark music, but no shark. That's weird. That's not normal. Lame. Alright. Change our bearing. So I have this boat set up kind of to where it's two different ways. I can just do my rudder and have, my sails going. Obviously 2 sails is faster than 1. Or you get on the boat motor, and you might think that you can just turn this on and it would immediately start going, but you actually have to press forward on the left stick to make it go faster forward, and you can hear the engine's actually moving. And if I took those sails down, it would be going this exact same speed, but I'm just kind of want to get on here to show you. I don't really like to, fuel is not the easiest thing to get in this game. It takes a while to get the potatoes and do the mash and all that other kind of bull crap, and it just doesn't really save all that much time. So usually I just sail along like this. Now when you're coming up to an island, see, I can zoom in right here. I can see there's a shipwreck there, another shipwreck there. Looks like another shipwreck over there where that little bubbling water is. That's what that means around the islands. And I can't see a shelter there, so I'm not sure if I've been to this island or not. I've been to most islands in the game now, by this point. Don't run into this shipwreck. But, yeah, I don't know if I've been to this island or not. Like I said, I'm really far away from where my home base island is right now, so I'm actually interested to see if I have been here before. I'm just going to kind of dock the boat in this area right here to where I can easily get out. You can see this? Yeah, there's a shark. He's real. Okay. So I'm going to put a lot of the stuff that I used to sail with, I just leave it on the boat. Shark isn't immediately right over here. There's nothing poisonous to land on. at this point in the game, there's no reason for me to even mess with sharks, to be 100% honest with you. I mean, I can definitely kill them, but okay, I have been here before. Okay. See, this is all from me. Alright, got our water still that's already here. I already have a campfire that's made here with kindling and all that kind of stuff. If you leave these animals after you kill them, if you don't need the meat right away, just leave the animal on the island, because the animal actually never goes bad. So, like, let's just take an example. I haven't been here in God knows how long. So I just got a medium meat off of that. It's absolutely fine to just use. I mean, it's as opposed to where if you were to have killed this animal completely right when you got it, but you didn't need all the meat, you know, that meat's gonna sour and it's gonna spoil. So, oh look, we have a friend that's here. Sometimes these guys, I don't know why, sometimes they just go right for you, and sometimes they're stupid and they try to run away from you. When that happens, things get real simple. Let's throw him. Woo! Oh, there we go. Flying crab. Let's see here. Got a lamp that I left here. I'll take the flashlights now. The lamps, on the other hand, I definitely take, because that wasn't a lamp, that was a flashlight. The lamps I use all around my camp at home to be able to see at nighttime and stuff like that, so I don't have to have like multiple fires going or anything like that. And right now I'm just looking around the island for rocks, anything that I may have left, anything that I might not have seen the last time that I was here. Because like I said, I'm at a point now in the game where I'm pretty well set up, so you know, at this point I'm just running around making sure that I get any extra resources that I can, because rocks, you know, I mean, you can sit there and mine them, but then you gotta sit there and make pickaxe after pickaxe, and honestly, if you know what you're doing in the game, you don't need rocks for all that much. Make sure you're always looking around for those sea urchins and for they're these like purple spiky things that are like almost like a starfish, but they're not a starfish. They're pains in the ass, and they poison you. And just getting poisoned in this game is just the worst, because it's not super easy to make the antidote unless you just constantly are farming picky, which, you know, I didn't learn that until a little bit later in the game. Right here is what we are talking about. Okay, if you step on this guy, it will poison you, alright? And then you have to take an antidote, which it's just a pain in the ass. So that's the biggest thing that I'm usually always looking for, is one of these. And normally I have a spear on me to where I can just throw it inside of this, and then that way it's like kind of like a mark. Like I'll throw a spear inside of it, and then when I'm running around and I just see a spear sticking out of the ground, I'm like, huh, I wonder why that spear's sticking out of the ground, because, you know, obviously I'm the only one that's alive. So yeah, that's my preferred method. That's the easiest way to kind of mark those things whenever you go to an island. And like I said, if you're a hypochondriac like me, I'm always looking for those things, so it's very, very rare that I will actually step on one. And, you know, this is just the easy way out also, is just going to be, you know, any of these yucca bushes that are on the island, just picking up these fibrous leaves, because you always need lashings. I mean, that's something in the game that just, you need them for everything. One thing if you do like to do when you get to the island sometimes, just because this is the way that I operate, these little trees, they're never going to get any bigger or do anything else besides make you a couple of sticks, and a lot of the time they put so much shade over the entire island that you can't really see if there's any of those special bushes, like you know, the guara plants, or the guara fruit, and there's other fruit bushes and stuff like that, and they're kind of hard to see if a lot of these little trees are just set up everywhere. So I like to kind of bust these things down. I didn't do this the last time I was at this island, obviously. So I like to do that just to get them out of the way, because those fruits are really, really good to find, and I can obviously take those back to my island, grow and stuff like that, so that I always have them. That's just one thing I like to do in the game also, is just try to get everything, you know what I mean? What are all the the different things that I can grow? What are all the different things that I can eat? You know, all the different animals that I can kill, you know, that you can harvest and stuff like that you can hunt and fish. Makes the game way more interesting and fun. And if you're new to like a survival game like this, you know, just put that in the comments, and you know, I can start a game from scratch. You know, it doesn't matter to me. I've been playing this game so much. I just really want other people to be able to enjoy it, because it's a hidden gem of a game. Because when you are starting off in this game, it is not easy, and you don't know what to do. You don't know how to make anything. You know, I can do tutorials on how to make every single different thing in this game, and I mean, it's really not that hard once you get into it and you actually know what you're doing. It's just like anything. So these will just make a whole bunch of wood, a bunch of sticks and stuff like that at them. To be 100% honest with you, I don't think it's worth it for how many times you have to swing the axe and how much it takes your axe down. So that whole pile just gave me 7 pieces of wood, but I had to swing the axe like 10 times or something like that. And to be honest with you, if you're just cutting down a tree, you're going to swing the axe just about as many times, and you're going to get 8 pieces of wood. So, you know, I don't know. You start to think about crap like that once you play this game for a while. Like, what's really worth it and what really isn't worth it. Always try to keep your palm freeze at the bottom of your water still, because then you always got a full bin of water to drink. Just for new players maybe that don't know about the game, where it shows the big ham bone and it also shows the water sign, that's your food in your water. That's how you're doing on both of those things. If you have it full all the way to where, you know, you can see there's 2, 4, 6, there's 7 bars on each of those, you know, each of those gauges. You have to have it at least 5 bars or fuller to be at the healthy stage. And the healthy stage and the healthy status effect is the only way that you regain health in this game, okay? And your SPF, obviously, that's, you know, how much sunlight you're getting and everything like that. So obviously this meat's done now, so we can eat it. This will fill up 2 complete bars. So we just ate that. Fill this up completely to full. I'm going to shut this off because there's no reason for us to have it going right now. And I want to go and check out the shipwreck that we saw over there right when we got here, and I want to check those 2 shipwrecks to make sure that I got everything that I could. But this is one of those rare times when I hate going, like, just walking out in the water on an island that I don't know that well whenever it's raining like this, because you can step on one of those freaking sea urchins, which I haven't shown you yet, or you can step on one of those purple starfish, spiky fucking poisonous things, and that's something we don't want to do either. So anytime that I ever get ready to do something like this, boom, set the sleeping bag down, save the game. So that way if I do step on something and I really don't feel like using an antidote, or in the case that I'm in right now where I don't have an antidote, you know, I can just restart the game if I step on something. See, because even if you take out your flashlight and you shine it, like, whenever it's raining, you can't see anything. Go over and check this one out first. So I can tell that I've been here before, because usually on the top of these boats right here, there's always one of the crates that's just sitting right here. That's gone. Most of the time on the front or the back of the boat, there's some type of a flotation device that you can use for your rafts. That's gone. So those are 2 indicators that I've been here before, but I'm still going to check. I left a gyrocopter vehicle part in here because quite literally it's... once you collect so many of those parts and you have so many extras, I mean, I'm sorry, you only need 1 helicopter, you only need 1 boat motor. I mean, you know, just do. It's a waste of space to do anything else. So it's actually kind of tough to see. There we go. Follow this down. Okay. So now we're done with this shipwreck. You always have to be watching for the lionfish when you're going in or out of the boats. That's where they always like to hang out the most. I don't see any crates that I can pick up. I also don't see any lockers. Let's go get some air. So that's just the back compartment of that ship though. So we'll go up here and we'll get some air for a second. It's about to be dark here really quick, so we need to be quick about what we're doing. Find your pole, go down, look in the back side, so now we'll go up here to the front. We will look front. There's a shark coming, I can hear it. Might look like they're planks, but they're actually really not. Alright, gotta go up and get some air. This hole right here, hope the shark doesn't get me. It's getting to be dark. There we go. Yeah, he just bit me. Alright. Leave me alone. Get over here to the boat. Don't bite me again. Hey, we made it. So you can see he bit me, but I'm not bleeding. A lot of the times when they bite you, you start bleeding. You have to go get a bandage on, but I have the healthy status effect right now. So, you know, it's going to continue to heal. As you can see, that bar is just slowly going up on the very top because I have the healthy status effect. Eventually it'll be at full. Okay, I was a little low on water, so I'm going to take a drink of water. And I'm going to unload some things. I don't have any planks. You can only put stacks of 4 of most things in the game. Except for, you know, there's a couple of things that can stack with more than 4, like these fibrous leaves that you use to make the lashings. It's dark now, we'll put the fire back going. You know, and this is just, you know, I enjoy games like this where you have to survive and, you know, there's different things to do. It's creative. It's not just the same old thing that, you know, they're pushing nowadays where it's just go, 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 and you have to go really, really fast. You know, if you want to, you can, you know, you can just skip the night times and stuff like that. I usually generally, you know, I mean, sit around for just a little while at nighttime and at least let it get to be about usually 20 or 21, you know, 21 o'clock, something like that. I've got full health though. I've got pretty much full water. These leather water skins can carry 3 servings of water. Mine's only got 2, so I'll go refill that. Leave a lashing here because I don't see one laying around, so I'm just going to leave one here. I'll leave this here because it's just one. One is useless. Yeah. shut off our fire, I guess. Just for the sake of the video, we'll just keep her moving. Sleep and go to the next island to see what we got. Take a look at our food and water situation. Just to make it nice and easy. Go like this. Wake up in the morning with some crab legs in the morning. I love it. I wonder if you get sick of crab legs though after eating it, like day after day after day. I love crab legs a lot, but you would definitely be getting some indigestion, you know. And that's the other thing. These little tiny crabs, if you run over top of them, they'll hurt you. But like, I mean, it's not anything. I don't know if it like actually hurts you. Like, you have to be sitting there for a really long time to ever actually be able to see the amount of hurt that it's doing to you. Yeah, see, I mean, it doesn't do anything. Yeah, I don't know. I think they're more just an inconvenience than anything. But those are really, really easy to slice up and kill as well. Get out your spear and... Alright. Swap them up like that. Easy to kill. Good source for a small little bit of food. And just for fun. Sometimes you want to practice your aiming and how it goes. When I say that it's easy, it takes me like 12 times to get them. Let's go. Cook faster. Medium meat. Once we leave here, I believe we're just going to be heading in their direction. Heading towards this island over here. You can see it off in the distance. Right about there. If anybody's watching, I'm glad you're still here. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, appreciate it. Drink some of this water, some of this agua. Fill up our water still. Ding ding, food's done. Of course, as soon as I start doing something else. That's okay. Because this is fast and easy to do. Set this guy down, chop it up, pops into 5 different palm fronds. I'm only going to take 4 because that's all the bottom can take. And it's actually not completely empty yet. So just fill it up. Lay that down. Eat up this crab legs, and now we are healthy and good to go. I kind of like how that happens in this game. You know, I mean, if you're facing the sun, it actually, you know, it makes the watch a little bit more difficult to read. But if the sun's at your back and you're able to see it, you know, it's just kind of like in real life. That's what makes this game kind of cool. It's it's pretty literal. You know what I mean? It's pretty difficult to do kind of everything in this game, which, you know, if you were trapped in this kind of a situation, I hate to break it to all you people here, yeah, most of us aren't surviving this, okay? This is not something that people could just do. This is, you know, another reason why Castaway is one of my favorite movies, because God, that's one of the most real movies like that I've ever seen. Look at this guy. Last night when we swam out, how close were we to touching that? Like, do you see the reason why I do what I do? Because if you touch that guy, you get poisoned, everything just gets ruined, and imagine if you're not like me and you didn't save it before you came out here. It's just a huge pain in the ass. Save often in this game. That is very, very much so a good piece of advice if you are playing this game. See, now, because of where I parked, I'm able to just bam, keep her moving. Okay, so we're headed up to this island up here because, again, that is still to the northwest, which is where we're going. And I think I've been away from my island for about 3 days now, so, you know, before I leave, we did not go check out that other shipwreck that was on this island. I'm doing it. It's just not going to take that long at all. So, if you don't know what I'm talking about, there was that shipwreck right when we got here. So we checked out those other two last night, but the one that was just the bubbling water that I told you about, we never went and looked at that one, and it was over on this side of the island. Oh great, I ran myself out of energy. I should have brought my binoculars with me because I'm a fool. I didn't. Oh, Andrew, you're a fool. Where's the bubbling water? Like, where is it? It was over this way. Because there's the other two shipwrecks. When we came out, it was like, make sure you're not stepping on anything poisonous. A lot of the times, these little guys right here, they'll have a little crate set on them. Yep, there it is. See, right there, this little bit of bubbling water. Sometimes that's all you'll get to let you know that there's something down here. Now, obviously, like I said, I've been to this island before, so I'm pretty sure I checked it. That snake is poisonous. You want to stay away from them. The snakes are poisonous, and then the lionfish. I don't see a lionfish right at this exact moment. They're usually all over the place. Okay. Well, I feel better now because we checked not only that one, but this one as well that I didn't realize was over here. Take one more drink of water for the road. Fill it up as much as we can before we go, so that it's good to go for the next time that we come here. Alright, watch out for poisonous things. Nothing to see how much easier you can see into the water when it's just clear as day like this. This is my favorite time to be swimming or to be doing anything like that. Let's see if we can find a lionfish. There's a lionfish right there. Okay, so these guys right here, if they touch you, again, they poison you. Alright. You can pick them up, though. If they touch you and they're alive, they do stuff to you, but, you know, if you pick it up after it's dead, doesn't do anything to you. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. That part of the game isn't super realistic, but that's just something that you can do. And to be honest with you, I kill every single one that I see because I feel like I'm decreasing their numbers. I have to be doing something, right? Huh. See what the caption even says. I really shouldn't be holding this. But I am. And now, you'll just float in the middle of the sea. No. Goodbye. There we go. Goodbye, lionfish. Something else will eat you. Alright, so for defense on this boat, I always carry stuff for defense. So I have my spear gun, my arrows, and a bunch of crude spears. But permanently what I carry on me is I have a refined spear over to the left. I have a refined axe on the top, a knife on the bottom, and my infinite ammo torch. They call a flashlight a torch in this game. Not really sure why, but yeah, those are the 4 things that I choose to carry in my hotbar. Maybe some people are a little bit different. I don't know why my boat keeps doing this. It keeps wanting to drive to the left, or it keeps wanting to sail to the left, and it gets off course, and I need to start paying attention to that. Sorry about that. Gonna take a few extra, an extra minute to get to the island now, because I didn't go in a straight line. And that is one thing that you do want to watch, but I'm distracted with trying to talk to the video. See that? I don't know if anybody saw that. The game just glitched. Sometimes that happens. You really got to be careful with moving around on your raft, because if I would have moved too far forward, and then went down and went underneath of this raft is going to sail off into the distance, which it looks like it would just sail into that island right now, but again, my raft is drifting to the left. So that means that it's going to probably hit this open area right here, or it's going to be going completely clear of all of it, and it's just going to keep sailing on into the abyss. And then you have to restart from the last point that you saved at, and that can really be terrible if you're not a saver. You know what I mean? Don't be living life on the edge in this game. It's just not worth it. See, this looks like a good island. I bet you I've probably been here before too, but we'll have to see. Okay, so we got 2 shipwrecks over here. We got some, you see that bubbling water right there? That's a shipwreck. And obviously that big pole that's sticking out of the ground, that's a shipwreck. And I'm just gonna dock right here. Actually, I have the shark next to me, so we get real close to the edge. There we go. Oh, I'm in too shallow of water for him. Yeah, fuck you, buddy. Let's see here. Again, I didn't even pull out any of my stuff for sailing because I'm just so desperate. So, okay, let's see if I've been here before, first of all. I think that I have. I feel like I recognize it. So here's a shipwreck. There's a lot of different things on this island that we need to double check. So nothing on this one. There's always a crate that'll be sitting right on top of these. When I say a crate, I'm talking about these things right here, okay? So like it'll be sitting just like this, but it'll be like up here. You know what I mean? It'll be up here or something like, or inside of the boat. Alright? So those are the things that I'm talking about. Crates always have things that you can't normally find other places will be inside crates in this game, and that's why they're so important to get. Okay, so you can see here on this shipwreck, we've got a thing of barrels right here, okay? Now, if you were in the game and you were early on in the game, something that you might want to do is chop those barrels up, because these barrels are going to be flotation devices that you can use to add to your boat. Alright, I'm going to drag these up here. This is something that you can very easily do. And this is a very lucky spot too that it has land so close to it. It's just easy to drag these up here because they will float off into the abyss if you let them. Same with any of the other flotation devices. As soon as you release them from any kind of chains or whatever's holding them, they'll just float up to the surface and just float off. But these barrels can be used, like I said, for the flotation devices to make for your raft. And we'll get into that in a different video or something like that whenever I get into how to build your raft. But I'm just kind of showing you guys some advanced gameplay right now if you've never played the game. So again, I've been here before, I can tell, because I've left a lot of the vehicle electrical parts. Spy glasses, I only need 1 pair. I mean, I'm sorry. Once you find a pair, you know, they're so easy to find and they're everywhere. And, you know, spy glasses are really just, they're not necessary, you know what I mean? You just get them just because you can. Okay, so here, this is not something that anybody that I made or anything like that. These will just be on random islands sometimes. There will be items inside of these. As you can see, I left a couple of sticks here because again, sticks you can get anywhere. A lot of the times there's really, really good stuff in here. I bet you I probably found a rash in here. I probably found, usually there's lashings, there's rocks, all those sorts of things. Okay, here's a snake right there. Anytime that you see a snake, you need to go over and immediately kill that crap, dude. It only takes one spear. Throw a spear at it. It's dead. Okay? Now you can pick it up and you can move it. Now that we know this snake is not a threat, there's always, if there's one snake on an island, that means that there's two snakes on an island, okay? There's never just one. So I almost kind of want to walk around until I hear the rattle again so that I know. Oh, shit. Okay, here we go. Now, just because I'm in the current situation that I'm in, and I can heal myself very easily because of stuff that I have on the boat, I'm going to fight this thing. But normally I would say, you need to be prepared to fight one of these because they can really hurt you a lot and they can hurt you quickly. Focus on this. Every 2 or 3 hits, they hit you into the air. Okay. There we go. See, he took down more than half of my health just in that little battle that we had right there. Now, I was unprepared to fight him. I did not see that thing coming. I didn't even see that it was off in the distance. All I saw was that crab that was over there. Okay, so he was kind of off in the distance and he was hiding from us. But these big hogs are the hardest to kill, in my opinion, in the game. Other than the sharks, because sharks, obviously, they swim around and stuff like that. Now, from these big hogs, you can get 3 pieces of animal hide that you can make leather from. And you can also get 2 large pieces of meat. And the large pieces of meat, I believe they heal 4 spots. They take up 4 spots on your food bar. You know what I mean? That's a hell of a lot of food. You know what I mean? So, there's not a whole lot of situations where I let my food drop that far anymore. Now, again, early in the game, this is going to be something that happens to you a lot. But later in the game, once you're established and stuff like that, you need to make sure that you're keeping yourself healthy pretty much at all times because stuff like that can happen, like what just happened right there. Now look at this. Here's this guy. I don't know why I wasn't marking these things, and why there aren't more spears and everything. So let me take care of that really quick because I need to practice what I preach. Yeah, anytime that you see those, I'm sorry, those things are a huge pain in the ass. Just take the couple of seconds, chop down a tree, get some sticks. It does not take very long. Okay, I'll pick up this palm frame while we're here, right? That's something that we were doing on the other islands, so run over here, find where it was again, get into your crafting menu, make yourself a crude spear. I'm going to just make all 4 right now so that it doesn't take up 2 spots in my inventory, because if you keep the sticks and you keep the crude spears, it takes up 2 different spots in your inventory, and I'm just not very desperate for sticks right now, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to go bam. So then now, whenever I'm walking by in the future and I go, ooh, what is this stick? Oh, okay, there's that right there. Okay, so that's one very easy way that you can try to protect yourselves from those things, because really, other than that, there is no protection other than to use up, a whole bunch of antidotes all the time. And that's how, like I said, sometimes you'll feel like you have a whole bunch of that stuff that it takes to make those antidotes, and then other times you can't find it anywhere. Okay, so, I just suggest trying to mark them and trying to stay away from them, because that's going to be your easiest path to success. Okay, I've been here before. I can see my water still over there. I'm just kind of looking around, making sure there's nothing that I left. Okay. Yep. Okay, damn it. I'm really, really glad that was not the snake that just bit me, okay? The giant thing, the giant crab, I can do. Ooh, 2 giant crabbies. How much health do I have? I need to be a little bit careful here. So this is my method if they're charging at you. Just kind of back up at the same time that you're attacking them and just stay in range. Never had two of them chasing after me at the same time exactly like that before. That's kind of cool. Okay. So you can see they took down my health a little bit too. I need to drink something because I'm not healthy right now, and my status effect of not being healthy makes it to where my health isn't going up. So I need to drink. Boom, boom. And my food, you know, I need to get some food going here so that to make sure that I keep my health up, or to keep my food status up. So where is, see, I got a lionfish sitting over here and a crab. I got a campfire that's half full. Here we go. We can just start this up. And come over here to our crabs that we just freshly killed. Nice fresh crab for us. Grab one medium meat off of there for now because that's all we need at this point in time. Equip it, come over here, put it on the fire. And it looks like I don't really, okay, here we got a couple of sticks right here. I must have left this here on purpose, you know what I mean? Everything that you see is on purpose, you know what I mean? Try to keep everything pretty organized to where when you come back to an island, you know, you don't have to be absolutely living in chaos to be able to do stuff. Like you can even see, I had crabs that are just sitting right here, and a hog that's just sitting right here, ready for me to be able to eat it. You know what I mean? It's just sitting here waiting for me if I ever come back to this island. So while we're waiting for that to cook, let's see, we still have a healthy status effect right now for a little bit longer, but we're going to need to put more palm frames in this water still right here. So I'm going to run over here to this palm tree before it gets dark while it's still easy to see. You know, because one of the best times to do stuff, obviously, is during the day when you can see, because obviously once the sun starts going down, it goes down quickly, okay? It's not something that takes a very long time to happen. Once you notice that it's starting to get dark, it's going to be dark really quick. Pick up 4 of these palm frames. This 4 is all you need. Just leave the other one sitting right here somewhere close. Fill up your water still, and now we're gonna have a whole bunch more fresh water here coming up soon. I always keep this on me, this water skin, just in case I come to an island and it happens to be that I harvested all the palm trees on that island and all the palm frames are gone, but you know, and then there's no way for me to get fresh sources of water on that island. You know what I mean? That's the reason why I always carry this and why I always keep it full. If you were wondering. Not that I'm even talking to really anybody, but just in case all you people out there in the ether world were wondering how you get this done. So these lionfish, there is a reason that you can kill them and why you keep them. And the reason is because if you take 2 of these that are dead, and you add them to a, what is it called, a coconut flask, an empty coconut flask, it makes something called shark repellent. So, to be honest with you, I haven't really messed with it all that much, but I'm assuming that shark repellent is when you put it on and you go into the water that they're not attracted to you. But, you know, I could be wrong because, like I said, I haven't really messed with it because I kind of like fighting the sharks, and I think I like that part of the game. It's an integral part of the game for me. Like I said, I just keep it simple on these islands because, you know, you can get into putting a smoker on every single island and doing all this different stuff, but like, you know, I don't see why you would have to do that when you don't really spend much time on the other islands that aren't yours. Save often. I'm saving the game right now. Dinner's done. Let's get this ate up right here. Take a look. We're still healthy on our status effect, and we are healing away. We're already more than halfway up on our health, and we have full health and full water. So this is the point in the night where I say, okay, I have a whole bunch of meat, or I have a whole bunch of sticks on my fire, so that fire will last all night, and it will be totally out in the morning, probably, when I wake up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on here, because The meat won't go bad if you just leave it, you know, if you leave it cooking on your fire and then you just let the fire go out and you don't pick the meat up off of the cooking stick. It will stay good until the morning, so that way, in the morning, I'm going to be completely healed, because I will have been healing all night long while I sleep, but my food and water is going to be down, okay? My food and water is going to be at least 2 or 3 down, right? Oh, I'm still healthy in the morning, and that's really weird. Usually, it totally heals your bar while you sleep, but it didn't do that, so, I mean, it is what it is. We gotta keep her moving. So I'm gonna take a couple of drinks of water, and then we've got our cooked medium meat that's just sitting here for us, a perfect breakfast, boom, boom. We're totally good to go. So now, we're gonna fill up our water still one last time before we go, so that the water still is good for the next time that we ever need to stop at this island. If we ever need to stop at this island again, it's just always a good idea. Always keep it full. Okay. Let's save our game. So sometimes I like to do this. So I'm going to save the game. And then I'm going to go back and quit to the main menu, because there's something called a cartographer in this game. That's the only way that you can really truly tell what island that you're on. And I know where my home island is, so we're going to go back to my home island so I can show you some of the things back there and a little bit more of how the game works. Make sure that we water all my plants and stuff like that, because they're probably getting close to running dry. Okay, so the cartographer's right here. So, the island that I am on is the island that is highlighted in red, but it doesn't have a skull over top of it, okay? So that's the island that I am currently on. Now, you can see, if you look at this map, it's a little bit confusing, but at the top right corner of this square is where your north beacon is, okay? So that's true north, okay? My home island, from the island that I am on currently right now, is directly southwest from where I'm at. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 islands over. So it's the island that's furthest to the left of this map, and it's right in the center of that island chain over there, all the way on the left side of the square. Okay, so we're gonna go back into the game, and we're gonna sail directly southwest, and we're going to need to pass 1, 2, 3 islands, and on the 4th island it's going to be my island. Okay, so this is probably going to take us a full day to do this, I would imagine, game time, at least that is. So we're back in the game, it's early in the morning, we're totally healed and everything else, we refilled all of our shit on the island, so let's get the hell out of here, so that we can hopefully be sailing mostly during the day. Because sailing at night, it is more difficult because you just can't see stuff as good. It's very obvious why that would be. I'm going to pull up our anchor, and I'm going to actually look at this to make sure that I will be facing the right direction. We're going directly southwest, okay, so we're going to be going directly this way. Actually, my boat is turning in my favor right now, so kind of let it go for a second. And we'll spin it ourselves, make it go a little bit faster. I gave it a little shove there. Alright, now, just for the sake of everything, you just get your boat moving. Get your boat moving while you're figuring out what direction that you actually really want to go in. So I really want to be going like that way, towards that island that I can see off in the distance right there. I'll get my specs out so you guys can see a little better. So that's the island that's directly to the southwest, and going to be the first island that we need to pass to get back home. So I said my boat drifts a little bit to the left, so we're going to pass all of these islands on the right side. I'm just making that judgment call because my boat wants to drift to the left, so if I aim a little bit to the right of all of these islands, then it'll stay going the way that I want to for longer. And as we pass by these islands, you know, I am going to kind of scan them over with my specs, but, you know, I'm not planning on stopping at any of these unless we get to, like, the second island and it's already starting to get dark or something like that. And then in that case, I'll toss an anchor in and, you know, we'll do it that way. But the game will continue to load and continue to show you, you know, as you get closer to the island, if there's stuff there. I can tell that I've been to that island already because I can see all my stuff over there. But you can see how my boat, it's already drifting to the left side of the island. And I had said that we were passing the islands on the right. Yeah, there's something wrong with my boat. It doesn't ride completely right, which is, it's probably because of the way that I have it set up here in the back. Because I'm not a professional at this game, but I do know how everything works. And it's just a pain in the ass to redo everything. There's not really a reason. There's some rocks right there I'm going to run into if I don't go a little wider. If you run into rocks with your boat, obviously it completely messes everything up and just makes it more difficult. So always be on the lookout for anything that's going to like be tall and sticking out of the water and stop your boat. My water still, my campfire, and everything like that I had from being at this island. I took down almost every palm tree on that island. I don't really see like any. Wow. I see a giant crab on the island too. There's a shipwreck all the way out there. Not stopping. I need to get back home. This is the next island that I am going to. Yep. This is the next island that we're passing. We're passing on the right. You know, I'm sick of you. What kind of shark is it this time? A great reef shark. White tip reef shark or something like that, it said. I don't know. Not worth my time, guy. You're holding me up. See, can you tell that I have ADHD? Like, we're not gonna stop, guys. Immediately stops as soon as he hears a shark. I just gotta see what kinds they are. There's so many different kinds of sharks in this game that it's just kind of cool to, every now and then, just to, you know what I mean? See it. Like, they act differently. They move differently. Some of them are faster. Some of them are slower. Some of them are more aggressive. Some of them are less aggressive. Like, it's, you know, those the goblin sharks and the tiger sharks, in my opinion, are the two worst as far as aggression goes. So this is island number 2 that we are passing, and we still have a third island that we need to pass before we will be back at my home island. And I just chose that home island because early in the game it had a ton of different resources. It had pigs on the island, it had crabs on the island, which, you know, those things can hurt you, but like, you need those things to be on your main island if you have a main island, if that's the way that you're going to play the game. Just because, you know, every time that you go home, you want to have a consistent and constant food source there and just always be able to have a stockpile of food and things like that. And whenever I'm sailing, you know, there's several things that I always keep with me. You have to keep, you know, like I said, you know, the sleeping bag you have to keep with you. The specs you got to keep with you. You got to keep a compass with you. The water skin, you know, I told you, you got to have some type of a reliable source of water always with you. You know, you're always filling it up. But also, I like to carry rations with me. I carry these air tanks that you can find with you. Those are for deep dives. Always carry an extra refined spear. I always carry an extra refined axe also. But it just so happens that right now, you know, I am actually using my spare refined axe because when I was out, you before I was doing this broadcast or anything like that. When I was out doing the game, mine broke, so I had to come and I had to get my spare out of the boat. You know what I mean? And that's one thing you always get. You always keep a couple pieces of cloth because that's what you use to make those water stills. I always keep some empty coconut flasks and some full coconut flasks. Those have water in them. Make sure that we're still heading in the right direction. I believe we are. Yep, southwest. We're going to that island next. Let's adjust just a little bit. Sorry for interrupting what I was saying there. I'll go back to it. You always keep some of these breath boosts on you. Those are pretty much the same thing as those oxygen tanks, but I always keep a couple of them on me. The aloe salves, that's for if you're out on the boat for too long, you start getting sunburned. Bandages for if the sharks bite you and you bleed. All of those things you need to keep a bunch of extras of. Okay. Now these are just different things that I've collected from the islands that you didn't get to see before. But I collected a whole bunch of stuff from the other islands that I was that I had gone to. And I'm just taking it back to my home island so that I can plant it and farm it and, all those sorts of things. Let's see what kind of shark we got. ADHD, let's go. This time we have, I think that's a tiger. Yes, it is. I just stabbed him. Ow, you piece of shit. Alright. I really feel like I don't use a band-aid right now or anything, so we'll just keep going. I just wanted you to see how thick the tiger shark is and how much slower he was moving. See, that's like, but they're really, really like aggressive though and stuff like that. But they're not as fast as like the mako sharks or the barrier reef sharks or the blacktip sharks or any of those. But they're much more aggressive. Now, I think this was, I don't know this, but I think that this island that we're about to pass was the island that I actually started the game, or, damn it, I don't want to do that. This was the island that I actually started the game on. But then, obviously you don't have to stay on that very first island that you start the game on, because it's definitely the island I started the game on. Look how there is nothing left on that island. There's no trees that are still up. Those trees that are there are trees that you can't cut down. There's absolutely nothing laying around the island. I don't even think that there was crabs or anything, or like the big giant crabs or anything on this island. Maybe that's one over there. I can't really tell. It's not moving or anything. But yeah, you can see like there's definitely, I think that is one. I think that is a giant crab, but still. It's always when you're on your first island, and there's my home island right there. I believe so. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. You can see there's literally nothing left on that island because I harvested everything that was on there. You can still see there's yucca plants that are growing there and stuff like that, but other than that, there ain't nothing. Yeah, that's a giant crab. Yep. Couple of them. Yeah, the first island's always difficult to survive on because it never has absolutely everything that you need. And you always, the biggest issue at the beginning of the game is getting stuff to be able to make lashings. Getting those fibrous leaves and tracking them down all over the island and sleeping just so you have a couple more the next day. But then every time that you sleep, you lose hydration, you lose the food, all of that, those sorts of things. Food is not difficult in this game, but water is difficult if you don't know, especially at the beginning of the game. Especially at the beginning of the game. Yep, this is my island. There's my house. You can see it from this far away, but nothing else is loaded in yet. You'll see as we get closer to the island how everything loads up, and then you're actually able to see all the stuff that's there because there's so much more there than just that house. As we get closer, you'll be able to see though. Got a whole bunch of different sharks tracking me. That didn't take very long for us to sail that. That only took one day. Like, I mean, it's not even going to take us a full day to get there. I absolutely love that. I love knowing that you can, all the way from the opposite side of pretty much the map. You know what I mean? It still only took me one day if I just, actually took my time and did it. You know what I mean? Just to sail home. Oh yeah, now you can start to see everything else. See, you can't see everything else very good, but there's so much stuff that's just sitting over there, like all of my food plots, all of the different things on the island. But there's my house. There's my helicopter that's sitting over there. And obviously the shipwrecks and things that are around the island. But it's always good to have one of these islands with one of these center stones in the middle because they always have way more resources on them. Alright, where do we want to dock this baby? Go a little bit to the right, so we're not straight into the rocks. We might end up being there anyways. Whatever. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Ooh, I ran into the rocks. You can see what happens when you run into the rocks. I need to cool down. Well, this is a good opportunity for me to show you. Okay, so I have sunstroke right now because my SPF is completely drained. That means the sun has been on me for a super long time. So what do? If you have it, get yourself an aloe salve. As soon as you take the aloe salve, boom. You can see even on my skin how like it looks like there's suntan lotion on it. That's because, you know, that's what the aloe salve does for you. Completely takes your SPF all the way back up and it will keep you there for a while. I have sunblock on. So as long as I have that status effect sunblock, my SPF won't go down. But, yeah. So now that this thing is empty, I'll actually just take it back to the island. Let's just make sure not to run into anything that's going to poison us. Okay. Finally back home. I like it. Okay, so I just set things places, and you'll have your own way that you do your own islands and stuff like that. But I set like the empty coconut flasks that I have and the full clay flasks and everything. I just set them right here because I know right where they're at. So as soon as I get back to the island, first thing I'm gonna do, boom, I'm saving it. Okay. And the most important thing to me, and the reason why I even come back to my island as much as I do, is because whenever you set up a farming plot, you can only be away from these plots for so long before it will completely drain out the water. Now you can see I had these plots completely full with water, probably I'm going to say like 4 days ago in game time. But, you know, it takes a while for these corrugated farming plots to actually completely run out of water. So you can see all of them still have a decent amount of water. I still could have probably stayed away for another day, maybe even 2 days on some of these, okay? Okay, so let's get this started. Okay, so now this clay flask can hold 5 servings of water, and this is the only way that you can water your plants. Other than if you're standing right here on your island, and if a storm comes, it will water your plants. Okay, that's the one rarity with all of this. And sometimes whenever I get back to my island to afford not wasting water, but afford using so much water, I kind of wait around sometimes a little bit just to see if it rains, and actually that's what I'm going to do right now. I just watered this one just cause. But now that we came back here, the last time that I was here, I planted these new pippy lots. So this pippy is what you need to be able to make the antidotes that cure you whenever you get poisoned, okay? And I actually have some on the boat too. So let's go back to the boat. I'm going to put all of my sailing stuff back on the boat because I have secure spots where I just keep those things. So I'll put the specs back, put this back, and I'll actually keep my leather water skin on me just so I can use it to be able to help water my plants and stuff like that. I'm going to put these couple of spears that I made. Put one of them back in there, and the other ones I will actually just all take them back up. And then this is just my method. Everybody has different methods, but I just grab as many things as I can possibly carry. I run back over to the island, and then I have certain spots where I keep everything, okay? So I've got spoiled medium meat because I didn't smoke it again, and this is just something that I kept, so I just put those in the water because whatever. Okay, lashings. I have a whole pile of lashings just sitting over here. A new lantern. I am going to set this new lantern. I have one there, I have one there. For now I'm going to set him right here. And we'll figure out a good spot for that later. Baked beans. So I have a whole bunch of those over in this one. So we'll put those there. Rocks and spears. I throw all of my extra spears that are on the island. I just throw them over here. So I can just go grab them if I need them. And then the rocks, I either put them in here or I just make them into stone tools. But I already have a whole bunch of stone tools sitting here. So I'm just going to put them in here. Okay. Now, I have this pippy. And I have an empty coconut flask. So if I go on my crafting menu, I go over to consumables and go down, boom, there's an antidote that I can make because I have those two things. So now I have one antidote. Literally, that's the only one that I have right now. I know that I have more pippy out here on the boat because I collected it from other islands and stuff like that I went to. But one thing I'm going to do really quick is take the one that I do have, boom, put it on the boat. Okay. I'm going to find my empty coconut flask that I have here. Grab all these things that I grabbed from other islands. Grab as much as I can. Back over here, and actually to make more sense out of this entire situation, I'm going to drop this. Drop this. And this was just more stuff that I had gotten from my home island. So I'm going to drop that. It's starting to get dark. Fire up my fire so I got a little bit more light. But you're going to see here in just a second why I collect so many of these lamps and why I save them. Because once it gets dark, this is what keeps your space illuminated, you know what I mean? This is what makes it to where you can still see what you're doing, you know what I mean? So this will be a better spot for this lantern up here, is to where you can kind of see that the farming plot's right here, and I can see my wood crates. Bring this one a little bit further away from the fire. Put it over here. Then we got illumination around the campsite. Set this one over here just a little bit further so I can see my wood crate. And okay, let's put these rocks away. Okay. And now I have these different things that I've collected that are like farmables. So all of my farming stuff, I keep it up here. And this one right next to my farming equipment, I guess you could say, because I always keep my garden hose sitting right up here on these rocks, right here. And then obviously I have all of these farming plots that are up here. So like I said, I'm just waiting a little while to water all of these completely and everything like that, because I'd like to see if it rains, because that could save me a heck of a lot of time. Okay, the rest of this this stuff isn't really that important, and I don't really ever use it, so I'm just actually going to put a couple of these right here because I don't have a ton of space or anything like that inside of these crates that I have just sitting here. I need to get another crate over there, actually. Ooh, I'm really low on my water. And I'm a little bit low on my food. This is a nice thing about coming back here. So I just have smoked medium meat on lock, just sitting here all the time. Now if you smoke the meat and then you put it inside of a container, it lasts for, I don't know, I think it's forever. None of this stuff is spoiled, and it just sits in here. It just sits in here. All I do is add to it to make sure that it stays full, and it just stays in here, and I never ever have to worry about food whenever I'm here back at my home base. Okay, all the cloth I keep right over here in front of the loom, because the loom is how you make the cloth. I put those in there. Any corrugated scrap or anything like that, I have a spot over here where I like to keep it. Not in this one, that's an empty one though, right here. I like to keep all my corrugated scrap over here, because a lot of the time that's what I use to make my rafts. And then I have a whole bunch of these balls right here those are flotation devices for the rafts, just like the barrels that we had earlier. I'm actually going to pick this up because I need another crate like we were just talking about. Right over here, I need another crate to be sitting here for all of my farming stuff. And now I have a place to put the whatever it's called. Okay, there we go. And it looks like there's something else that I just left sitting on the ground right here because I didn't have space. A jugula. A jugula. So, alright, it hasn't rained yet, so I'm just going to start putting a little bit of water in these just so they don't go dry. Full on that, so this one has a whole bunch. Just going to put one in this. Aloe vera. This one went bad while I was gone because you can see this is a wood farming plot. This is a corrugated farming plot, and the wood farming plots, they're just not as good as the corrugated ones, which that's why I had the aloe vera in that one, because the aloe vera isn't quite as important to me as all of these other ones are, because I have so much of the aloe vera, and I just don't really, honestly, I don't use it all that much. So we're going to go around, give all of these a little bit of a drink just to make sure that they don't dry up or anything like that. I'm still not going to water them all the way because, like I said, I don't want to use the water that I use for drinking for that. I would much rather, you know, stay here and I'm going to go to sleep. I'd much rather just stay here and allow it to rain and have that be the way that they get watered. So that's why I'm going to wake up in the morning. I'll take a look, make sure that none of them are... Yeah, see, these will all be fine. Honestly, I'm going to get rid of this one. I'm going to get rid of it right now. Over it. I'll make sure to pick up the lashing, the spoiled aloe vera, the sticks that made it up and everything, because that one was just in the way, to be honest with you. That was a very early one that I made. But we'll make another farming plot here soon. So the next thing I'm going to show you guys is that, so potatoes are what you need to be able to make fuel in this game, okay? That's why I have so many things of potatoes. And you can also eat them, but like in the same sentence, there's so many other things that you can eat in this game. There's no point in doing that, okay? So take my kind of fruit. I think there's only one that's growing on it right now. Okay, so if we take all the potatoes that we just got, and I have something over here called a fuel still boiler, and that's something that I can teach you how to cook in a different, or teach you how to make in a different video. But if you put all of your mash in there, and you start up the fire that's underneath of it, it cooks those potatoes, and it cooks them down so much to where it makes fuel. And the fuel goes down in here into the collector, and then you take an empty jerry can and you can collect the fuel off of that fuel still collector. So let's make sure that we have enough wood on here. It's perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to go over here and I guess I don't want to do that. See, these Cura fruits, they actually go bad and they spoil really quickly. And because I'm not using this to plant any others, I'm going to eat it. You know, I'm pretty low on everything right now as it is. So we're going to see how much this takes us up, because I actually don't know the answer to this. Well, it took us up completely on our food, and it actually, I think it took our hydration up even just the slightest little amount. Which is really, really cool. And that's cool. The cool thing about some of those fruits is how amazing they are. Like with, you know, they'll do your hydration and they'll do your freaking your food at the same time. It's awesome. So I have two spoiled things that I want to plant. Okay, I'm going to plant the spoiled aloe vera, and I'm going to plant this spoiled koala fruit, or whatever the hell it's called. So I'm going to do corrugated farming plots for both of these, because as I just told you, the corrugated farming plots, they are just so much better than the wood farming plots. But the wood farming plots are good at the beginning when you don't really have all those different resources. So I am going to come over here Gotta get your crude hoe. And after this too, I'm going to show you how to make a water still as well, because I'm going to make more water stills, because what I have right now isn't enough. Alright, let's get the crude hoe out. And you need lashings for this too, okay? You need lashings and you need corrugated steel, okay? Okay, so you have to get out the hoe, and then as soon as you open your crafting menu, it's going to take you right to the farming thing because you have your hoe out. I'm going to make this over as far as I can. And the other one, it says that you actually, it's not even telling me that you need a lashing for this. Okay, well, you guess you only need the lashings for the wood farming plots. Shows you how much I know. Okay, so we're going to plant the guarby fruit, or whatever the hell it is, and the aloe vera. Okay. Give it some water. And I believe, yeah, we need to pay some attention real quick to our water stills here at home. Fill all these up. Never know how much you're gonna need. Might as well just pick it all up. So get that fuel still boiling. And I'm just gonna set the other ones right here on top of these rocks, so that I know where they are. Okay, so we need to drink just a little bit of water. Do I have any water personally on me? No. Okay. So let's go over and make sure that our new plants have plenty of water, because they do need plenty of water right when they're first starting out. Man, can we get a rain? Can I get a rain? All of these are sitting good. This one has plenty. That one has plenty. And that one has plenty. Okay. Okay. So we'll put these back, since I guess you don't need them for the corrugated lots. Which makes no sense that you need them for the earlier ones and not for the later ones. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. So we are good on our water for a little bit. I'm going to set this full water pitcher over here. So I'm going to take a drink of water. Okay. So now, I want to show you how we do the smoking and how that smoking works. So cod give you medium meat, okay? Seagulls give you a small meat. Alright. Seagulls, the way that I get them is I have a bird snare that is set up here. That's something else that you can build in the game, and every time that I come back to the island, there's always one just sitting there waiting. So again, I don't gut them as soon as I get them, because they don't go bad when they just sit here. Let's get this fire going. Yeah, it's starting to get dark, or maybe it's starting to rain. Please, God, tell me it's rain. It might be. That would be so cool if it started raining so I could show you guys. Okay. So with the smoker, you have to build this meat smoker that goes above the fire. and then you can put pieces of meat on there. Now it takes way longer for things to smoke, okay, than it does for things to cook. So pretty much you just put it there, and you know, if you want to build up your cooking skill, you sit here right next to it, and it'll build up your cooking skill, which you can see on your watch. See that second one down? That's your cooking skill. And if you just sit next to the fire while things are cooking, apparently it builds up that skill. Now that I'm this high of a level, it's kind of pointless for me to sit here and do it, but I'll do it anyways, just for the sake of the video. But once you smoke it up here, you put it inside of a freaking container, and it just, you know, it just stays there. Heck of eggs, spoiled eggs. Eggs you can find inside of nests that are up like on the cliffs and stuff like that on these, which we can get to that in a different video as well. To be honest with you, I think they're pointless. They don't really feed you all that great. There are other things that feed you better. Save often. There are other things that feed you better, but you know, it's it's one other aspect of the game. Over here, if you're wondering what this is my furnace. This is how you make clay, and how you make different things. So this is how I made that clay flask. It's really the only thing that I've ever made with it, because I don't really need anything else. But okay, so you just heard that ding. So that means this small meat, it's cooked, okay? It's just like when you put it on the fire. Like, they will cook at the normal rate, and they will be done cooking, you know what I mean? Just like how normal. Like, I could take this off right now, and I could eat it, and boom, you know what I mean? It's good to go, you know what I mean? It's just like eating a cooked piece of meat. But if you want to smoke it, you have to leave it on even longer, and then it will smoke, okay? And I'm showing you this just so that you can see. So I've just put a new piece of this small meat on. Now this medium meat, it's still cooking, and it's still got the timer on it, however long that it takes. So it will, you know, ding here after a short period of time, and it will be cooked. But I'm going to still leave that medium meat on there, and then it will change to smoked after another, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however long that it takes. So it's it's pretty useful once you get that smoker. This is another reason why I always go get cut down the palm trees on different islands, and I get the palm fronds, because you see how much it takes just to make up the small amount of water that that you get off of it. And this is the only way to make fresh water in the game. There is no other way. Didn't even fill those ones up from using both those. Okay, so now we have cooked medium meat, but it's not smoked yet. Okay, so I'm going to leave it on there, and eventually I'll hear another ding. Honestly, the first ding that I'm going to hear is that small meat being cooked, but then for this to be smoked, it'll be the next ding after that. It's going to take a while. I'll come over here and show you the house while we wait, though. So it's a house that you can build. I have this built. Need to cool down. Well, we know how to do that, don't we? So now there are two different ways to cool down. So I showed you earlier in the video. One way to cool down is just the quote-unquote easy way, where you go over and you get 2 pieces of aloe vera. I already have an empty coconut flask on me. Get into your crafting. Go over here, make an aloe salve. Drink it, okay? But we already know how to do that way, so I'm not going to show you that way. So for now, just because, for the sake of learning and everything like that, somewhere over here, and honestly, it takes me a while every time to find it, I have a couple of fish traps that are... Is it raining? Yes! Okay, so this is... Okay, I have to show you this example before we get too deep into anything else. Okay, so now it's raining. Do you see what happened to my farming plots? Do you see what's happening? Okay, So this is the one that we'll take as an example. You see where the water level is right now. As it continues to rain, this should go up. Okay? All of these should go up. So just for the sake of, I don't know how the game really works in this regard, I'm going to actually stand up here and wait right next to all of these farming plots until it's done raining, so that it can definitely, if it does work, and you know, it's gonna work. You know, if I'm full of crap, I'm full of crap, but we will see. See, these two are completely full, and I didn't fill them up. So I feel like that's what's telling me that it worked. This one hasn't really moved, though. This is well, I hope I'm not completely full of crap and that I didn't just think that this was the case and it's not the case, so we're going to sit here and we're going to wait. Because if rain doesn't naturally water the plants, I don't know what else does. You know what I mean? So that would be something that I would be very, very upset about if the game didn't do that. So we're going to sit here and we're going to test this theory. Go grab a drink, go to the bathroom. If you guys are watching, I really, really appreciate it. I would appreciate a subscribe or a like thrown on the video. Thank you. They're going up. They're going up. I wasn't wrong. That makes me feel good. Okay. They're going up like a ton, though. They really are. They're going up a little bit. Now these ones are halfway. Hey, you know what? Even just a little bit that it goes up, you know what I mean? Every little bit helps when you don't have to use your own water. And when this happens, when it rains, these fill up. Another not commonly known thing about this game is, you know, you saw how these were all filling up and stuff like that, like actively filling up because we were having to put the palm frames on them. Filling them up just for something to do while we're sitting here waiting for it to be done raining. Because I really, really like this. I'm very, very interested in how much just this rain, this big heavy rain, is going to, is going to change. There we go. This one should, yep. They all went up again. Yeah, see, dude, this is, I mean, it's a big deal. It's a big deal, guys. It's a big fucking deal. Is that too full? Oh, there we go. Okay, it's all done. Getting out of there so we can shut this fire off and add a couple of sticks to it actually. So it's a little bit more ready for next time, but we have a full fuel still collector, and I have an empty jerry can here, so what I'm gonna do is over here, so Says hold square to refill the jerry can. Boom. Now, oops. Now, it's 100% full of fuel. So come over here. I like to keep the full ones in here together. Boom, boom, boom. Good to go. It'd be so cool if it would refill these things just faster and better. All fast. But you know what? This one's totally full. This one's totally full. This one's totally full. That makes me happy. Sometimes I just cut them in. Campfire go empty, but both of these are smoked now, so I can take both of these off. And put them in the bag. I think I could eat that small one. No, I don't need to. Oops. Bada bing, bada boom. That SPF problem actually took care of itself because it started raining. So now it's done raining. Let's go see what we got. I mean, it definitely filled these up way more than they were. These were lower than halfway when I had first started. So, you know, now they're way fuller than what they were. Might as well just do this. It ain't gonna rain again anytime soon. It really filled that one. That's going to be it for today. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I appreciate you. Make sure you like or subscribe if you can, and I'll bring you more videos.